in that way, I also learned how I understand that how rebellious my heart is, and so I know that my kid sometimes would be rebellious as well, and I need to be gracious to them as much as God being gracious to me. And um, there are times um, where it's when it's being too hard, and I would snap like yeah.
Hi, friends. Welcome back to Lesson 5 of Pruning for Fruitfulness. We are still talking about practical theology. And each lesson, I am inviting my friends to give their testimony, their stories. Today, I am inviting my friend Martin, a young man who is involved in raising his family. In lesson 5, we discuss about the wrong wrong belief that says that men is only responsible to work outside of the home, providing financially for the family and protecting them physically, but they should not be involved in the day-to-day raising their kids. But in this case, this is different from what Martin is doing. That is why I am inviting him because he is doing the right thing. And let's listen to what he says. So, Martin,
Yes.
thank you for coming here
Yeah.
and wanting to share your life basically with us. So, first, maybe you can introduce your family, yourself.
Sure. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Martin. I'm married to my wife, Sally. And we have three kids. My eldest is Liam, and he is wait,
Nine?
11 years old now.
11?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then my second one is Nara. He is 6 years old this coming August. And then my youngest is Arya, and she just had her birthday last month, and she is 4 years old now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Full of children, yeah?
Yeah.
Young age and all very, uh,
Yeah. They have a lot of age gap. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So, Martin, my first questions to you is that what makes you want to be fully involved in raising your three kids?
Yes.
Because, like I mentioned, the belief out there is that men should not be involved in raising their kids because it is the responsibility of the wife or the mother. And
Yeah.
why do you not following that
Yeah.
stereotype?
Right. Right. So I was growing up in the 90s, and I'm the youngest of three siblings. And my dad is the sole provider for the family. And my mom, like typical during that day, she's the one who's taking care of all the household, including raising children most of the time. But I remember two things that I remember the most. The first one was my dad. He always wakes up in the morning, and the first thing that he does is to go and having his devotion, and he's still doing it up until now. So he never stopped with his devotion, even though it's during holiday. Wherever we are, whenever we go, he will start it up with doing his devotion, and that's one thing that really set an example for me. Even though I can be honest that I'm not doing it every day right now. And the next thing that I also remember the most from my dad is that almost 9 out of 10 times, he will always be there for dinner time, except when there will be some busyness every now and then when his partner will come from overseas. But other than that, I can remember exactly where he will sit in our dining table, and I think that also gives me an impression and also give me a lasting impression that my dad and my parents are always there for me. So I feel loved by them. And then the other thing is
Before you go
ah
uh, further, can
yeah,
I ask questions?
yes.
Did your dad involve like in, for example, helping you taking a bath or dressing you or help feeding you?
Uh,
or help with the homework, like involved in your life?
right. Actually, my dad did not do much of that, but he can always he can always s- I wouldn't say separate, but he can always pick the right time. So whenever it's like a serious time, then he will just grind all of us, and then when it's holiday time, then he will just treat us during the holiday,
Mm.
and then aside from that, I think my dad is the one. My mom likes to say that whatever that she's doing it based on my dad's agreement, and because my dad is the one that he needs to um, provide for the family, and so my mom is the one that's taking care
Mm-hmm.
of the households.
Okay.
Yep.
Mm. You want
Yeah.
to continue?
The next thing that happened was as I finishing my undergrad degree, I live with my elder brother and sister-in-law, and I see and experience firsthand how they raise two kids.
Mhm.
So I was there when my sister-in-law pregnant, and I was there when she delivered the baby, and from that I also experienced how I really can see how actually working and then raising the family doesn't have to be a exclusive things, but they are actually complementing each other, and they actually can help the family to bond.
Mhm.
Actually, yep,
So you saw your brother changing diaper, for
yeah,
example,
yes,
bathing the baby,
yeah,
or cooking for the
yeah,
family.
yes,
So all that. That's
yeah,
why
yeah.
you're
So
doing it
yep,
right now.
yep. So that's yeah, that's kind of influenced me right
Yeah.
now, and I think so. At the end of the day, I think uh whether it's my dad or whether it's my brother, I think what's really important is knowing that work and provision is coming from God. I think as long as we do it discipline, and we do it committed to giving back to glory to God in doing what work that we are given. I think at the end of the day, that's I can always say that okay, I'm done with the work, and then I want to be involved with my family.
Mhm. So if you can share, so what will be your daily activity after you come back home
Yeah,
from
yeah,
work?
yeah.
So what would you do for the family and for the kid?
Yes. So of course, once I'm back at home, um, I'll just go. So I'm done with cleaning up myself, and then I will go down. And then usually we start our dinner about 6:30, 7ish.
Mm.
So between then, I'll start cuddling up with some of the kids. But
After dinner,
no, before
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 dinner.
dinner.
Okay.
So I'll just say hi to them, and then I'll start talking with my wife, just catching up a little bit with her, and then just pretty much um, play around with the kids, and then usually after dinner, so we'll sit together, and then we'll start with a prayer, and then we'll have dinner together. We just talk with each other.
Mhm.
We try to put aside the gadgets,
Mm.
and then also we try not to um, turn on the televisions. And then usually after maybe 30, 45 minutes, depending on how the kids going, we'll just gonna do our separate activities.
Mm.
So maybe I will um play with the oldest, and then just rotate around.
Mm.
And then if there are certain things that needs to be addressed, then I will talk with one of them, and then just play with them. And then the rest of the night we'll just chit chat, and then sometimes if I'm bored, and I'm just gonna do my own stuff as well.
So who put them to sleep?
Oh, yeah, sorry. At the end of the so 9 o'clock, usually we will go to bed, and then my wife and I still help. Both of us still help the kids, the two youngest children, to sleep. But the eldest will. So before we go to sleep, we'll pray again, and then every now and then I'll ask.
Together?
Yeah,
Pray
yeah.
together, five of you.
Five of us,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
And then every now and then I'll ask, how's their day? Sometimes I will ask, what's the high and the lows for the day, and whether there are friends that needs to be prayed for if they're sick or not. And then after that, maybe 30, 45 minutes, we'll stay around and reading one or two books, and then try
Two,
to make
three of
sleep.
them.
Uh,
Reading or separate?
separate. So the eldest now has his own room,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm just gonna pray, and then because with the situation with the two kids, they still wants us to be with them.
Mm.
So I tell my eldest, I'm gonna put your brother and sister to sleep, and then after that, I will check on him before I go to my
Mhm.
bedroom.
Okay. Okay. So there's a bedtime routine
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the kids, and
yeah.
usually, so you and your wife always do it together, or you
Almost
take a
always
turn?
do it together.
Okay.
Almost always do it
Okay.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any benefits, Martin, that you experiencing because of your involvement in the life of your children? You're helping together raising your children.
Yeah,
Any
certainly,
benefits?
certainly, certainly. Um, I think the number one benefit is to have that connection with your spouse. I think that's the first thing, because as I get involved in knowing our children, because the kids is not my wife's or mine's, it's both of us. And once I get involved, it's easier for both of us to understand
Mm.
each kid, each of their need, because obviously we know that every one of them is different.
Mhm.
We thought that having one by having just one, then you'll know how to deal with the second and the third one. It's not. It's everyone is different, so everyone gives us different challenge, whether it's spiritually, mentally, or physically. But definitely, and then one of the thing that we learn together, we learn and we question a lot from this book called Growing Kids God's Way.
Mm.
And we have been, we used it, and we're so blessed from that book. And I think all the principles, I can say that it's very biblical and it's very godly. And that's what inspires us as a parents as well, as a spouse as well, to be able to um, grow with each other, sharpening each other in raising up the children.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember whenever I had dinner with your wife,
Mm.
so I asked her, so who take care of the kids? My husband.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's like you're already used to it, and then yeah, you're very confident in doing it because even when she's not away at night, so you're doing it as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very good. So is there any challenges, Martin, in doing all this?
Uh, Obviously, I think mentally, spiritually, physically, there are challenges. Let's say spiritually, um, I remember there's this saying, um, can I say it in bahasa?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
please, please.
So, okay. So maybe there is this saying, saya sudah kasih tahu kamu seribuan kali, jutaan kali, dan kamu masih lakukan hal yang sama.
Maybe
Nah,
you can translate also in
so I've
English.
told you like million times, and yet you still do the same mistake, or yet you still disobey me. And I think as I say those words actually, as I reflecting back, it's actually what I do every day toward God, right? I always, most of the time, I oppose God. Most of the time, I'm being disobedient to God. And I think in that way, I also learned how I understand that how rebellious my heart is, and so I know that my kid sometimes would be rebellious as well, and I need to be gracious to them as much as God being gracious to me. And there are times um, where it's when it's being too hard, and I would snap like yeah, and then I think
How would you snap? Get
uh,
angry?
yeah, I would sometimes I would be angry, and sometimes being the selfish me, I just want the situation to just settle down. So
How usually you express your anger?
um
Some people get quiet and just sulk. Some people just shout and yell.
yeah,
How
yeah.
how you express?
The way I express my anger is um to be silent, and also to give way to whatever it is that they want, and then I'm big silent. And so, usually most of the time, after couple after a certain period of time, then they will know that I'm not approving that what they're doing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And another challenges would be mentally. I think mentally is the biggest one right now in this season of life, because as I mentioned earlier, my eldest, he's 11 years old, so he's going to that teenage year, and I need to spend more time with him. I mean, like, I need to keep that bond so that he can keep opening up with both of us. And then the next one is between my middle and the youngest, because their age is very close. Sometimes it's very easy for them to be selfish against one another because they need their parents' attention, right? And that's kind of exhausts us many times, like during the day, because we have to juggle with both of them.
Yeah, yeah. That tremens definitely it will be challenging,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Taking care of three kids,
yeah,
different ages.
yeah,
Yeah, physically. Yeah,
yeah,
this season I think your struggle mostly because tiring physically.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But it's very good, very commendable that both of you, especially you as the father involved.
Yes, I think the main uh idea that I keep on pushing for it is that I also see that raising my children and also raising this family also God's way to shape me, right? And I think many times I'm also looking back, I will thank God. Oh yeah, I learned this from certain challenges that I'm facing with my children. Yeah, that's the great thing.
Yeah. So in a way, because of that, you also grow
Yes,
spiritually.
correct.
You understand the heart of the father as you are fathering your three
Yeah.
children. Yeah, yeah. So Martin, probably there are young fathers who are watching this conversation and they have been believing the lies that men should not be involved, husband, father should not be involved in raising their kids because that is the uh, full responsibility of the wife since their responsibility is to provide, right, financially. So what advice would you say to them?
Yeah. So my advice would be don't stand on the sideline. Join the match. It's fun. And then also study yourself between biblical worldview and the worldview and biblical view.
Secular and
Yes,
biblical, yeah.
secular and biblical view. I think in the Bible, God says for us not just for man, not just to be a provider, but God asks us to be the head of the family, to be the husband, to be the spouse, and I think that's an important foundation as well. The next thing is to start small. I think there are certain aspect or areas in the house that we can pick and choose. If you've and then discuss with your wife if maybe it's dinner time attitude that's more important right now, or maybe it's the bedtime that needs to be addressed right now. We can always start small, and then next is to be committed with it. And again, keep discussing with your spouse. And I think in that way, we are also showing love to our spouse because now our spouse know that we experience their struggle as well, and so we can work together on that. And then finally, be faithful with God's promise because I can honestly say there are times where I really want to give up, like big selfish about my personal desire, about myself. But at the end of the day, I know it's God's calling. And as God gives the children for us, they are also God's medium to sharpen us.
Mhm.
That's it.
As you're speaking, suddenly I remember Deuteronomy 6.
Mm.
This is the command to the house, the head of the household. Moses gave this command to the fathers, the leader of the household, which is the father, to disciple their children, right? So if a father are not involved in the life of their children, meaning that the father is disobeying the command given by God through Moses, which is to disciple their children at home. Yeah. So thank you for doing what you're doing, for giving the role modeling, especially to young families, young parents, especially you're young. I just asked your age just now. You're 38 this
Yes.
year.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, you're belongs to the millennial generation. Yeah. So hopefully that this video is useful for many young parents. So friends, I hope that this conversation with Martin and his story will bless you and will challenge you if you are struggling with this calling to disciple your children, be involved in the life of your children. Hopefully that this will encourage you. See you again in the next episode.